So usually I will do my year-end review on my blog. I will share a little update on my life for the year, and I also will like share 10 books that I love the most. But this year I thought I will do something different. I'll do a video review to just to show you who is this person, just a little bit about more about myself and what's happening right now in my life. Because on my YouTube videos, I always share things that I have learned previously, and I want to share something that's more current and how I feel about things. So this year is not one of my best year. It's quite stressful and quite challenging, and most of you who watch this may have known that my dad has passed away last year, and this year the main theme is all about the aftermath of my dad's death, like the things that I have to cope with, the things I have to do after my dad died. I didn't realize how much things needed to be done when someone dies. I'm the administrator of my dad's assets, so I have to go to the banks, go to the lawyers, and some of that doesn't even know the procedure. It's like going back to becoming an auditor where I have to approach strangers and find out the procedures, and also like all the bills, and they have to be cancelled and change their name, or the phone. Another big thing is about decluttering my dad's possession. I didn't realize that he has so much things at home, even though I'm living in the same household as him. Like when I was cleaning the storeroom, I actually found an old window that we have. When I was a child, I remember it, but I've not seen the window for a long time, and don't know why is it doing in my storeroom. So it was kind of interesting. It's also kind of hectic because there's a lot of like things like computer parts that my dad used to gather over the years. All of them are in the storeroom and kept in boxes, and I had to find ways to go and recycle it. It is a bit stressful. I'm glad I've completed most of it. It created some kind of tension in the family also, because there is a difference in terms of value, how we want to do things. Like the tempo of how we want to do it is also different. I'm the one who is more adamant at cleaning my dad's possession, while some of my family members or like my brothers may want to like keep things as status quo and doesn't want to change so much or so fast. Like everyone has a different way of processing their grief. For me, I feel that when someone leaves, their possession feels a bit different. The energy is no longer there. It feels abandoned. So when you hold it, it doesn't give you a good vibe. So for me, my rationale is to let go of all this stuff and give them new life. Basically, for the first half of the year, I've been doing a lot of administrative tasks and not working on my business as much. When someone important in your family dies, the family dynamic also changes. They leave a gap in your family that needs to be filled out. Like all of us have to adopt some kind of new roles. Like I have to take up some of my dad's responsibility and roles. Like there are a lot of things I take for granted. Even like small little things like keeping the clothes in while it's raining, or closing the window during pest control, or just picking up the phone in the living room. I used to be able to focus on my work completely. I can get into flow and not get distracted. But now I have to worry about so many things, like checking on the weather, whether it's raining. And so that got me a bit distracted. I can't really truly focus on my work. And there are also some of the tasks that I have yet to fully put attention on and focus on, like my dad's garden. It's actually not a big garden, just a few pots of plants. But I haven't been able to figure out how to grow the new plants. I have all the seed. I didn't have the time to do it. But perhaps the most difficult role to fill out is to be the masculine energy for my mom. Every one of us has both the masculine and the feminine energy, but one energy tends to be the more dominant and natural to us. So for me, I'm more dominant in the feminine energy. I would say it's like a 60-40. Like I'm 60% feminine, 40% masculine. I don't really like to lead or make decisions, or I prefer to be flowing, follow my intuition, and just be creative, like the more nurturing feminine kind of energy. I only mostly use my masculine energy for my work, where I need to focus and put my words into a logical flow, right? But now, because my dad is gone, I feel like I have overextend my masculine energy in both at work and at home. So I feel kind of drained. I just feel so tired and exhausted. I don't feel like doing anything else other than taking care of my family and my work. And I know that my mom depends a lot on my dad. They are in some kind of like a codependent relationship where both of them serve each other's needs, right? But I didn't get the extent of the dependency until my dad died. Like, my mom is so afraid and feels so unsafe to even answer the door or pick up the phone. Today, the doorbell rang and I was sleeping. I had to wake up and open the door. She didn't have to open the door. It used to be that both my parents like spend most of their time in the living room, and I didn't realize that my dad is the one who has been opening the door and answering the phone, and my mom has done nothing of this. Apart from my mom's anxiety in many circumstances, I have to take over my mom's finances also, which is something that I can do because I have an accounting background, and that's why I'm managing my dad's estate too. But it's not something that I would love to do because I don't really like to control other people's finances. My mom is not very great with the technological stuff too, so she will always come to ask for help also. And this July, I went to a holiday with my mom and my auntie. This is the first time I ever went on a proper holiday with my mom. I realized how blissful a life she has been living, because when she go for holiday, she didn't need to take charge of anything. She was just there, being in her feminine energy and just like following the lead of other people. Don't need to know where we are going, don't need to know where to eat, don't need to know where the places are or how to get there, and just follow and just be, you know. I kind of envy it because even though I love to do all the planning, but I don't enjoy being a leader. I prefer to go a holiday on my own, where I could have the freedom to go wherever I like to go. My dad has done such a great job of being the protector, the provider, the problem solver. He did it so well that my mom and even some of my relatives feel there is a big hole in their life when he's gone. It is a big hole to fill, and I'm not planning to fill it. I can never fully adopt my dad's role because my dad and I are very different. I'm not a provider, I'm not a protector. I'm more of like a teacher. I don't like providing others with the fish. I would rather teach someone how to get the fish. So I kind of value independence instead of depending on other people. And I never feel that being over-reliant is a good thing. Before my dad died, I always asked him, how do you do this? How do you do that? I just want to pick up some skills along the way so that I don't have to depend on him so much. The best relationship is when two individuals can still be individual while relying on each other. So regardless whether you are dominant in masculine energy or feminine energy, I still feel that you need to meet the basic needs. Like feminine energy needs to pick up some basic masculine energy. Like they need to learn how to protect themselves and provide for themselves and be somewhat assertive and know when to say no. Masculine energy, on the other hand, also need to have some feminine energy too. They need to learn how to connect with others and not only depends on their partners for intimacy and connection. They also need to be in touch with their own emotion. I feel like we need to meet at least the bare minimum. People moving out of my life seems to be a major theme for this year. Like in the second half of the year, my brother has moved to his new home, and that really changes the family dynamics yet again. So 3 out of the 7 days he's not at home. And my younger brother is barely at home due to his work and his activities. So he's absent most of the time. Basically, my mom and I are alone most of the time. And I find this increasingly stressful and frustrated to be at home. Even though I love to be at home and I love my mom, but when you spend so much time with someone and you are constantly taking care of somebody's needs, you feel that your needs are not being taken care of, and that bounds to be some kind of conflict. I realized that when I took some break away from home, like maybe once or twice a week, just to go out on my own and just not having a specific purpose, and just allow myself to be in my feminine energy and be directionless, purposeless, and just go wherever I want to go, or just spend some time in the library or the park, I feel more recharged, and I was able to come back and be the provider and the protector that my mom depends on us to be. And towards the end of the year, during September to December, I felt my emotion are a little bit up and down. I felt a bit disappointed when one of my close friends just moved back to his home country without telling me that he's leaving Singapore. And I'm still not 100% sure that he left Singapore, but just based on his social media and my intuition, I don't think he's coming back again. I was a little bit irritated because we just have a meetup, and after the meetup, he asked me whether he wants my guitar because he's giving it away. And at that time, I didn't realize that he was giving it away because he's moving away. He didn't tell me that. And later I see that he's like giving away his boat and selling things. I realized that he had it planned like probably a year ago, and he didn't even tell me that. So that kind of breaks my heart a little. I feel a little bit hurt because I thought that we are very close. Like at least on my part, I feel that we are close, but apparently it's not the case. When I realized that he left, I felt like there's a punch in my gut. Like all the old story that I used to tell myself that I'm not significant, it doesn't matter, came back again. And these 4 months, I have periods of anxiety attacks. I have moments of grief. Like it feels like I'm going through a dark night of the soul because of this twin flame separation. And you might be wondering, how can I still be functional and make 3 videos a day on this YouTube channel? That's because my heart isn't closed completely. When you feel hurt, your heart may close completely, but mine is closed and open and closed and reopen again. And I do my YouTube videos when I feel inspired. When I'm not inspired, I just feel like taking a rest, I'll just take a break and process my emotion. You can still be functional even when you're going through deep emotion like this. Coming to the end of the year, I felt better now because I started to let go of him and detach from him, and just allow him to live his own life in his home country while I live mine. And if our star align or our path crosses each other, we'll meet again. But at this moment, he doesn't seem very interested in talking to me or meeting out with me. So I'm just gonna let it be. For the new year, I feel like a big change is needed. This year, I have focused so much on my family that I feel like my career and financial is taking a dip. For example, my blog post has been decreasing in traffic due to the Google updates, and I haven't had a chance to really revive it. It has went back to what it used to be. I feel like I'm starting all over again. And if I don't do something about it, I may have to close it down eventually. Something needs to be changed to shake out this equivalent. If not, I don't think I'm going to last very long. Not just emotionally, but also financially. Going forward, I probably will spend more time on myself, maybe a couple of days per week, and go out and have some me time. I may not know exactly what needed to be changed, but I believe and I trust my intuition to guide me there. In this video, I just wanted to share some of my struggles because I want to show you that even though I'm creating this YouTube channel to share my experience, to share what I learned, to teach you something, right? But as a spiritual teacher, that doesn't mean that I have no stress and no issue in life. Just like everyone else, I have my good days and my bad days. It is very crucial when you are in your spiritual path to acknowledge your emotion and be honest with yourself. And one thing I learned that is very important in this whole struggle and journey is your character. Even though we may be struggling, but we need to show up consistently, not just for our work, but also for ourselves. Like, are we taking care of ourselves on a regular basis? So character is something that I'll bear in mind as I go forward next year. So this is something new that I'm trying out. Let me know in the comment section if you would like to see more of this kind of video where I just talk about my life and talking without a script, which is very difficult for an introvert like me. Because I usually do plan out my videos before I say it so that I have the words. Sometimes if I just do a spontaneous video like this, I may not have the words to communicate what I want to communicate.